Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a Q&A and I'm so excited to finally film this. I've wanted to do one since I started my channel, but I really needed to make sure that you guys wanted to see one from me before I filmed it. Thank you to everyone who voted in the poll and who wrote a question on my Instagram. I saw all of your questions and I will try to get to each and every one of them. And if I don't answer it in this video, I may do a part 2, but if I don't, I will respond in the comments to each and every one of your questions. So let's just go ahead and jump right on in. The first question is, when did you meet your husband? And I also got a lot of, how long have you been married, and were you high school sweethearts? So I'll just answer them all now. We were not high school sweethearts. Brandon and I met our senior year of high school though, and just remained friends all through college, and randomly saw each other out at a WNBA game where he was interning in 2010. And we have just been dating since then, and we got married in 2014, and that would make our 4-year anniversary this April. Before the next question, there is no rhythm or rhyme to these. I'm just answering them the way they came. So there's no order, or, you know, I'm not lumping in family things versus personal things. The next question is, did you feel nervous about starting a YouTube channel, and what's your favorite thing about being a boy mom? I was nervous about starting a YouTube channel, but not so much about being in front of the camera, more so than just sharing my life on camera. I know it's very invasive, I guess, so you're opening yourself up to people basically to scrutinize and tell you how to do your job, which is how to parent or how to clean your home or how to, you know, do anything in your life, when, you know, that's not necessarily a normal thing. And so I was nervous about subjecting my family and friends to that, but it's been worth it. And my favorite part about being a boy mom is just experiencing something different. I really always thought of myself as a girl mom, you know, prior to even having children. So having a boy, just learning new things about boys and seeing how boys grow up, because I didn't have that, is very cool. I'm reading these questions from my phone, by the way. My next question is, how old are you? And not sure if you've done this, but will you be doing a vlog on your birth and delivery? I am 29 years old. I turned 29 just a few months ago in December on the 20th. And so that means I have just a few short months until I'm 30. The second part is, I will do a birth and delivery story. I think it would be very interesting to tell you all how I did not push Bash out and he came out on his own during a contraction. What did you do before becoming a stay-at-home mom? I worked as a preschool teacher. What has surprised you most about motherhood? I would have to say that motherhood can be very isolating, and I don't think I realized that because I have other friends who are moms, and I just thought, oh, when I become a mom, we're all gonna hang out during the day. And at the beginning, it was not like that. I was very alone. I felt even a little bit of jealousy, I'm willing to admit, of Brandon, because he was able to go to work every day and talk to adults and, you know, interact with people. Even though I had friends, I just felt like no one understands me. And I hear that that's really common at the beginning because you're just home by yourself all day. And even if you're a working mom, most working moms take maternity leave and you are just home by yourself, unless you're blessed to have your significant other, you know, be able to take some time off work as well. This next question I get all of the time, and we explain it all the time. We give the answer everywhere on every platform, but still everyone asks, so I'm just gonna go ahead and answer it. How did you become friends with Aaryn Williams and Crystal? Is she the reason you started your YouTube channel? So I will just go ahead and explain how they met and how I met. Aaryn was at the mall, I think they were at Von Mar, and Crystal happened to see her and recognized her from YouTube. So she went up to her and, you know, introduced herself, and they became friends first. And then later on that day, I guess Aaryn didn't get Crystal's phone number. So she, you know, basically said on Instagram, hey Crystal, if you see this message, hit me up, like, let's be friends. So I slid into Aaryn's DMs and said, hey, I'm not Crystal, I'm Krista, but if you need a new friend in Georgia, you know, I'm here, I'm a new mom, and I'd love to hang out. And about a month later, she wrote me back and said, oh my gosh, you seem cool, like, let's totally hang out. And we met for donuts, the three of us, and we're joined at the hip ever since. How did you and your husband decide on the name Bash? Did you have any other names you were considering? So his real name is Sebastian James, and Bash is just a nickname. I think I heard it on the nickname I heard on that show Rain that used to come on the CW. I thought that that was so cool. Like Bash was like a cool little kid in school, or like a good athlete's name. So we knew when we decided on Sebastian that Bash would be his nickname. But we actually decided on Sebastian from that movie Cruel Intentions, and Ryan Phillippe played that part. Forget who he was in that movie, because he was not a great guy, but we loved the name. And we were just talking about Cruel Intentions one day while we were still trying to figure out baby names, and we were like, wow, Sebastian is a cool name, and it's distinguished and it's refined. And that's really what was important to us when we were deciding baby names, was finding something that he could grow with and that sounded sophisticated. The next question is, are you comfortable talking about your fertility struggles? I know it would help me as we're dealing with infertility and possibly starting IVF in June. I am so sorry to whoever is dealing with infertility. I get it. I totally get it. It is the hardest thing, because sometimes you just don't know what's wrong, or sometimes you do and you think you're fixing it and it's just not working. I am totally comfortable talking about it, but this video would be way too long. But I will explain a little bit of what I dealt with, and I will make a separate video for that, as well as postpartum depression. But I have PCOS. I did not know I had it until I was trying to get pregnant, and they diagnosed me after about 8 months of trying to get pregnant and it not working. And we tried 3 rounds of Clomid, and all 3 were failed, and I got sent over to a fertility specialist. And then she did all kinds of testing on us to make sure that, genetically there was nothing wrong, and just tons of different, they tested Brandon, tested me, and it did turn out I still had the PCOS. So I did, what's it called? Letrozole, a combination of letrozole and Ovidrel shot. I know these words mean, may not mean anything to you, but to some people who are trying to conceive with PCOS, it could help. Letrozole, the Ovidrel shot, metformin, and we did go ahead and do an IUI, which is an insemination. We didn't have to, but I just figured why not, it could be helpful. And we did that twice. The second time we added the metformin, and I got pregnant right away. So when we do try to have another baby, I will probably just go straight in for all of that and not try to waste any more time, because we did spend 18, almost 19 months trying with all of these things, and I just don't want to go through that again. So I'm praying for everybody out there who's having fertility issues. I get it. I'm with you, mama. If you ever need to talk to me, I'm getting emotional because I know how that feels. I know how you feel. So feel free to message me if you want to talk about it. Whew, okay, the next question is, where are you from? I was born in Michigan. I didn't live there. My mom was visiting during Christmas time, and I came a month early. I was not considered preemie though, but I came a month early, so I came December 20th while she was there for Christmas. And she lived in Philadelphia at the time, so she took me back to Philly, and we lived there. And then when I was 7 or 8, we moved here to Georgia and have lived here ever since. And I love living in Georgia. I could live here for the rest of my life. The next question is, what are some special moments from your wedding day? My dad ordained our ceremony, and so I will always remember him walking me down the aisle and then turning around and officiating. That is just a precious moment, and a lot of people don't get that. And so I think that I will always carry that with me. The next question is, what is your relationship with your parents, and do you have any siblings? I love my parents. We get along so well. I'm always over at their house as much as I can be now that we've moved. They live about an hour away from us, but we get along great. And my mom is like my best friend. We FaceTime every single day. And my dad is just such an inspiration and an encouragement in my Christian faith. Like, he is the ultimate role model. And I do have siblings. I have 2 half siblings, and one is 22, and the other is 20. And then I have my sister who lives with my parents, and she is 22 as well. Back to YouTube question. How long did you think about starting a YouTube channel before actually doing it? So when I met Aaryn, the very first conversation, or in the very first conversations we had, she encouraged me to start YouTube. It was actually the day we met. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't think so. Like, that's crazy. And then as that was probably in October or the end of September or October, one of the two, of 2017. And I remember texting her probably in November or December saying, I'm gonna start the YouTube channel in the new year. And I started it in the beginning of February. I think it was like the first week of February. And it's been the best ever. Oh, this is a good one. How do you manage time for yourself with the new baby? At the beginning, I didn't. I just was a recluse and I stayed in the house. I did nothing for myself and it was not a good situation. As I started to feel more like myself again, I, felt more comfortable passing the baby off to Brandon and, just going out of the house just to get Starbucks or going out just to walk around Target for a little while. I remember the first time I went out, I think I just stayed in Target for an hour and I didn't buy anything. I just walked around because I just needed me time. And it's still a struggle. I still have not gotten my nails professionally done since he's been born. I've gotten my toes done once. And I used to go to the nail place often. And so it's just about balance and trusting your spouse or your significant other with the baby, which is what I had a problem doing. And but you just have to make me time because it's so important and you can lose yourself and your child if you're not careful. How do you stay motivated and energized? I have a 4-month-old and seem to hit a wall at 3 p.m. and start counting down for daddy to come home. I totally get that. I still count down for Brandon to get home. I stay energized by coffee and prayer. That's about it. Just coffee and prayer. Any more children in the future? Yes, I would love to be pregnant this year or in the beginning of next year. And a lot of people ask me if I want a second child, what would I want? I would love a little girl. But I would be happy with the boy too, because now I know what I'm doing. How do you stay motivated to do your hair and makeup? I feel like I do not have energy to do it with my daughter. Well, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I don't do my hair and makeup every single day. If I'm filming, I do just because I want to look presentable, because this can get real messy if I don't do anything to it. But it's not hard. It doesn't take long. And once you refine your makeup routine, you can do your makeup really quickly. And just run a brush through your hair and do a cute messy bun on top, or like a top knot, and like let the back stay down. It's super easy, and you just got to make time for yourself if you want to. I get this question a lot too. You've inspired me to start my YouTube channel. What are some tips for growing it? Well, I'm so happy that I've inspired you to start your channel. Good luck with it, and let me know, because I try to subscribe to people who tell me that they have channels and watch mine. Also, tips for growing the channel: just be authentic. My channel grew very quickly. It was honestly faster than I ever would have imagined. Thank you guys so much, because I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers in less than 2 months, and that has just been so overwhelming and gratifying, and just, it's been a blessing, really. And so if you are wondering how to grow your channel, share it, tell your friends to share it. I had my friend share it, and word of mouth, my mom shares it, and just be authentic and real, because that's what people can relate to. Anyone can subscribe, but it's the ones who keep coming back to watch you every single week. It's so important to just be yourself, and that will really shine through. The next question is, what does your husband do for a living? Does he play pro football? The answer is no. He does not play pro football. I will go ahead and say that he does work for the NFL. I know some of you guys have been saying, oh, he plays football, in my comments and things like that, and he doesn't play. That's all I'm really gonna say about that. I'm trying to keep his business separate from my YouTube channel as much as I can, just because, he knows I'm doing this channel. He's all in support of it, but that's his thing, and I don't want to interfere or have anyone feeling like they want to try to interfere with his job. But we are a football family. You can probably guess for who, but that's all I'm going to say about that. He does not play. How did you transition Bash to sleeping in his crib, and how old is he? Bash will be 7 months officially on the 19th, and we did it cold turkey. We moved into this house in February, and he slept the night before we moved in here in his bassinet, and the next night when we lived here, he went straight to his crib. It was easier on him than it was for me. I was a basket case the entire time, but, and I would go in there every night, or Brandon would go in there every night and kind of turn his head a little bit more because I felt like he was sleeping too face down, but we just did it cold turkey, and eventually you get used to it. And honestly, it was one of the best decisions ever because we sleep so much better now. Even if we have to go in and get him, which we still do, and you know, either rock him or nurse him, I have to nurse him, we still sleep so much sounder because every little noise isn't waking me up. This question is from Brittany Boren Leach. She has a YouTube channel, and we've made, you know, Instagram and YouTube friends, and so congratulations on your new baby. She said, if I come to Georgia, can I hang out with you, Aaryn and Crystal? Of course you can, girl. And she said, and my real question is, how many babies do you and your husband want? We always said we wanted 2, and then after I had such an easy pregnancy and a really easy delivery, I said I could probably do it again and again and again. I don't think I want more than 4, but maybe just 1 more, somewhere in between there, I'd be totally fine with. How do you keep your stress level at ease? Well, my child doesn't stress me just yet because he's still really small, so I can't really tell you how I deal with like tantrums and things like that because he doesn't really have them. But overall, I don't think I manage stress that well. Sometimes I cry or I'll snap, which is not good. But I think what I would like to do if I was, you know, practicing proper stress management, I would probably pray more. This is a good question. What are the 3 things you hope your audience really understands about you? Similarly, what 3 words would you choose to symbolize the human you hope Bash is raised to be? Well, I hope Bash is a Christian, I hope he is a gentleman, and I hope he is intelligent. Everything else to me just doesn't matter. I feel like all of like the nice attributes of like being kind and generous would fall under being a Christian, and I think you need to be smart, and I hope he's a gentleman. We are trying to raise him to be, you know, polite, or we will be raising him to be polite and kind and refined, and, you know, just live a, you know, an upstanding life and treat women and friends and everyone the way he would like to be treated. And for me, the 3 things that I wish people would, or I hope people would know, is I'm doing the best that I can. So if I don't appear to have it all together, I'm doing the best that I can. The other thing I would like you guys to know is not everything is as it seems. And I just mean that, you know, I may come off as having a great day, but it could be stressful. And I don't ever want you guys to think that, you know, you see this perfect little life here, because it's not always perfect. And things are really great right now in my life, but I don't ever want you all to feel bad about yourself or feel like you have something to live up to because of us, because I am just a normal person like everyone else. And I think that the third thing is that I think that I am down to earth, and I try to be as real and honest. And if you reach out to me on Instagram, I will respond back. And I just hope that you all can see that I'm doing my best, and that I'm not perfect, and that I'm real, or at least I try to be. And so those are really important to me as far as having a YouTube channel, because people do get the wrong idea about influencers and people they see online. The next question is from Brianna K over at Bits of Brie. Hey girl. If you had one superpower, what would it be? I probably would, ooh, that's hard. Either fly, like teleport, or fly, because I'd love to be in Europe all the time and then, you know, be able to come right back. Or invisibility, because I'd like to, you know, see what's really going on. But honestly, that would probably hurt my feelings if I heard something I didn't want to hear. So probably fly. Are you planning Bash's first birthday? Of course I am. I am so excited. I plan everything. What are some things that you did to help with feelings of postpartum depression and anxiety? Are you worried it will happen again with the next baby? Cough, cough, like some of us do. I am not worried it will happen again, because if it does, I know how I'm going to handle it. I did go on antidepressants, but when I first found out that I had it, I was in denial, and it went unchecked for about 4 weeks. My doctor was sitting there telling me, you know, how you're reacting is not normal, but it can be fixed if you let me help you. About 4 weeks later, I started to feel like myself again. And I just want to say postpartum depression, and I will go into detail in another video, but it is so common and it's not talked about at all, not enough. And this is another thing. If you ever want someone to talk to, you can hit me up in my Instagram DMs. I do answer, and I try to answer as fast as I can, but I do answer if you want to talk about it. And I will do another video probably later this month talking about postpartum and my actual experience and how I really felt during it. But it's normal, and the ways to cope are just talking, getting the help you need, talk to your doctor, and don't let it go unchecked, especially if you know you have it. And don't fear it happening again, especially if you're worried about you know, getting pregnant and wondering if you should even do it again. Have that baby again. It does not last forever, but make sure you get the help that you need, because having it unchecked can lead to scary things sometimes, you know, in some people, and you just don't want that to be it. But I say, you know, pray and get out, stay motivated by, you know, leaving your house and getting dressed in the morning and forcing yourself to do the things that are normal prior to having a baby. And it looks like my camera battery is dying, so I will do a part 2. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, share my channel with your friends if you love it, and turn your notification bell on. Double check that you are subscribed, because sometimes YouTube does unsubscribe people, so just double check, and I will see you in part 2.